Document, don't create, part 3 or 4 of Lost Track. Pretend it's a different day. It's not as sunny out. I have a different ponytail. Perhaps I've shaved off my, what do you call them, lamb chops. And, what was I going to say? I'm going to talk more about document, don't creating, and document, don't create. That way, the purpose of documenting and not creating is so we can pump out more content. And there's 2 things I want to talk about. An epiphany I had about how I can document what I'm doing now to have more content, where it's been a struggle for me, or a question. I'm like, I don't really understand this document, don't create thing. So I'm going to talk about that. And then the other thing is, what was the other one? Can't remember. It'll come to me. Okay, listen in, make it through the intro. I'll be right back. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the intro. If you're watching the video, I love that boom. It's so fun. It's like 5 seconds or 4 seconds or 2 or whatever it is. I think it's so fun. If you're listening in podcast land, it's a 30-second. I explained the table rush. Anyway, the other open loop I have for you is the importance of documenting and not creating for speed of having lots of content to put out there, and why that can be so good. And there's different thoughts on it, but I'm going to address that on the next episode. So subscribe so you'll get the update. Again, this speaks to the power of batch recording. I'm repurposing all these video clips, right? So I'm for a client I have now, I'm repurposing her interviews. And then I'm also repurposing a testimonial for somebody. So I'm editing it down, creating the nice little testimonial. I'm editing down this person's summit interviews. If you have summit interviews and you want me to repurpose those for you and create content that you can splash out on the social media, I can totally do it. Just my email's in the notes, so click on that. Send me an email. We'll see if we can sort something out. I was feeling overwhelmed, and I was like, oh, gosh, this is taking some work that I love. So I love playing with the editing and crafting the story and taking out the unnecessary stuff. It's just so fun for me. I'm not sure why I like it so much, but I do. And I guess I'm intrigued by this idea of creating engaging short form stories that create engagement and create an action. Like, create this content, it'll create an action at the end, and that action can be tons of different things. So as I'm editing this testimonial last night, and God, it came out so good. I was watching this testimonial going, oh my God, what an amazing story. What an amazing job I did interviewing this person, and then what an amazing job of editing it. And I have to do next for the other client is chop up one of her interviews, her summit interviews. And it's going to be fun because it's going to be something outside of what I've started on the creation process, right? In other words, someone's giving me the interview that they made, the video that they made for their summit, and then I'm going to slice it and dice it. So this is going to be very interesting for me. It's going to be fun to see how I can tell her story with her video. But I was like, it hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, this testimonial that I've created for them, in effect, I can chop that up into the little mini clips and use it as my own testimonial of what I'm doing. Like, this is the documentation of what I'm doing. So I can say, hey, I can put captions on there. Instead of putting the captions of what the person is saying, I can put my captions on there saying, hey, I created this awesome testimonial for these two people. I can do it for you. I can set up I can schedule the interview. I can do the interview, and then I can chop it up into one nice little 5-minute testimonial, and then I can repurpose that into, you know, 5 or so mini clips that you can splash out on the social media and documenting. I'm documenting what I'm doing with the content that I already created with just a little extra tweak. Such a powerful epiphany for me, right? So, because I was like, oh my gosh, I've been creating I'm in the middle of this posting a video, one of these mini clips, pushing it out across all the channels, except for LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat. I haven't added those into the queue yet, but I can't wait to. Thanks for hanging in there with me as I'm talking through this, but I've worked for a few hours on one interview, created all these clips of my own, and then I've got that content for the week. And so as I was editing this other content for the client, I was like, how is this all going to fit together? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can just repurpose that content and push it out as documentation of what I'm doing, and the customers I'm doing it for are going to be super happy because I'm in effect advertising for them. How amazing is that? Like, massive epiphany. So I'm super excited about that. If you have an interest in having me repurpose some of your interviews that you've done with people for a summit or for a challenge or for testimonials, and you want to repurpose it and push it out, and at the same time have me push it out for you through my channels, reach out to me. I'm so excited. This is so fun as this is all coming together. And then if you want to get some testimonials, but you're so busy that you don't have time, but you see the value in paying somebody like me, I'm super Calendly efficient. I will get the emotional engagement on that testimonial that you want, even if you're a Lamborghini guy. I'm sorry, I don't know why I went on that tangent. And no judgment, by the way. I was said from a place of non-judgment. But anyway, again, if you would like somebody to help you set up the testimonial, interview the person, i.e. record the testimonial, edit it down to a nice little 5-minute clip, and then break that out into the mini clips so that you can push it out over the social media. And then at the same point, I'm going to use it as testimony of what I'm up to, documenting what I'm doing. So you'll get free exposure to my audience. Reach out to me. Maybe we can work something out. Okay, the next episode is going to be the importance of the speed. What pumping out a lot of content can do for you over and above just creating looks, likes, and follows, because there's a lot more benefits from it. Okay, listen in. Next episode coming.